So, hello everybody. My name is Karolis. I'm from Kartu International, and it's nice to see you in this webinar. And today we will be talking about studies in Netherlands and studies in NHTV, University of Applied Sciences, which is in Breda town. Together with me, I have three representatives from University of Applied Sciences NHTV, and this is Bram. Also with him, he has his colleague Roman.
Hello, everyone.
And Roman is now a student at Tourism Destination Management Master Program, and also Dave.
Hello.
Dave is a student in Master Program in Game Technology. So I will say some interesting facts about NHTV, University of Applied Sciences, so you would know that it's definitely worth to study there. And this university is very international. They have students from more than 60 countries. Also, if you will be studying there, you will have a chance to have your internship somewhere abroad, not in the Netherlands, because university is connecting work fields worldwide, and more than 50% of students are doing their internships not in the Netherlands. So also a few more facts about Bram. Bram has studied international games architecture and design studies at NHTV, and now he is working for marketing department, and he is presenting NHTV all across the Netherlands with for those students who are interested in studies at this university. And just short reminder, if you will have any questions, you can ask them during this webinar, and after the webinar, we will of course answer them to all of you. And not to waste the time, I'll giving the word to Bram and his colleagues. So Bram, you can start.
Okay, thank you, Karolis. I'll just jump right into the presentation that we've prepared. So let me open this for you first. Let's see. Let's go to the start. There we go. And start. No. It doesn't want to start at the beginning. It's very happy to go to the end.
Yeah.
That was a quick view of the studies.
Yeah. As Karolis mentioned before, my name is Bram. I work for the NHTV as head of student recruitment for the marketing department. And I'll quickly jump into some basic information about the NHTV itself before Roman and Dave will talk about their master programs. So first off, welcome, of course, everyone. To give you all a quick idea of how the Netherlands is with all its culture and people, we have a small video prepared that I'll be playing right now to give you a small idea of what you can expect when you come to the Netherlands.
So, you're considering studying abroad. You want to expand your horizons, encounter new cultures, and explore new territory, while earning an internationally acclaimed bachelor's or master's degree. You've got your mindset on an inspiring city: Sydney, Beijing, New York maybe. But then why wouldn't you go straight to the source? The Netherlands. What? The Netherlands, inhabited with, on average, the tallest people in the world. If you haven't heard much about them, it's probably because their motto seems to be, let's not pretend to be bigger than we are. The first thing you need to know is that the Netherlands is also known as Holland and is inhabited by Dutch-speaking people who also speak English.
150, please. Very good, Bill, thank you.
Confused yet? Well, the reason they speak English so well could be partly explained by the fact that they've been wandering all over the globe since the 16th century. Holland was the economic and cultural centre of the world. They established a vast trading network, opened their first university in 1575, and even laid the foundations for contemporary New York City, which was called New Amsterdam back in those days. Curious? Let's take a closer look, shall we? Just who are these tall, internationally minded entrepreneurs living at the heart of Europe? At first sight, the Dutch are uncomplicated, but in a rather complicated way. Johan Cruyff, their most famous soccer player, once said, "Every disadvantage has its advantage." He managed to bring soccer to a whole new philosophical level. This remarkable, say, out-of-the-box approach to analyzing and solving problems is something they put to good use in the 14 research universities and 40 universities of applied sciences around the country. The Dutch democracy is home to over 190 different nationalities, living in its many cities and villages. One has to admit that the Dutch are generally open-minded, freedom-loving and tolerant towards foreigners. All told, the Dutch take a very broad view of life, at least in their mind, because their tiny homeland measures only 300 kilometers from north to south and 170 kilometers from east to west. Still, even though the country only covers a 0.008% of the Earth's surface, they have the 16th largest economy in the world. That must be the reason why they drink 136 liters of coffee a year, making you wonder if they ever sleep. Because 2/3 of their country lies precariously below sea level, the Dutch long ago developed a survival through consensus concept that is now commonly known as the polder model. Within this concept, people from all walks of life are encouraged to contribute their opinion when it comes to national problem solving. This philosophy has served them well in holding back the sea. They turned into supreme masters of just about anything connected with water. Their 17,000 kilometers of dikes have approximately the same length as the Great Wall of China. But far beyond water management, the polder model has also created a fertile environment for developing innovative technological solutions to many of the problems facing the modern world. Over the centuries, the Dutch have produced many progressive artists, writers, philosophers and scientists. Today, architects and designers in the Netherlands have come together under the collective name of Dutch design, and their influence is felt all over the globe. You can also find evidence of the Dutch love for sharing opinions in their approach to teaching. In the 1,400 different English study programs around the country, they create an open, informal environment in which students and teachers share and debate new insights. For the Dutch, it's much better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. Dutch academics have established a reputation in a range of scientific disciplines, such as nanotechnology, renewable energy, medicine, water management and architecture. The country's higher education programs offer great diversity, high-quality education and excellent research opportunities in an international environment. Dutch researchers are among the most productive in the world, which helps make Holland one of the best-performing countries worldwide. So, on the downside, you'll be spending this next period of your life on a bike in a flat country below sea level. But on the upside, you'll be inspired by great culture and intellectual challenges. And you'll return home with a high-quality international bachelor's, master's or PhD degree in your pocket. So I would almost say, if it ain't Dutch, it ain't much.
So that was a quick look into the life in the Netherlands. So let's quickly continue with the presentation. So yeah, are you considering to come to the Netherlands, or Holland as many internationals would call it, and join us for a master program? So yeah, the Netherlands is a kingdom, as they quickly mentioned during the video as well. Amsterdam is our capital city. It's not a country on its own. And we are very international, as 86% of all the Dutch people speak English as a second language. So even if you don't speak Dutch when you come here, you're more than likely to be able to communicate in English while you're here. So studying in the Netherlands. There are more than 1,500 programs in English, so there's no language barrier. We have excellent and innovative education at your level. And of course, you'll be able to study abroad and you'll get a good value for money. As you will hear later on, the programs don't cost as much as they do in other countries around the world. So what do we offer? NHTV offers professional bachelor programs, but of course you're here for professional master programs. We also have associate degree programs, a pre-scientific education, both in 3-year tracks as well as academic bachelors. But yeah, like I said before, we'll be talking about the masters tonight. So what makes NHTV unique? We have over 7,000 students from over 60 different countries around the world. So you won't be the only foreign student to come to NHTV if you decide to come to the Netherlands. There are international classrooms, which are pretty small scale. So I think the classrooms for the masters are about 10 to 20 students, 20 to 30, depending on the program you choose. So there is a lot of personal possibilities with your teachers if you have any problems or need some extra information. Work placements can also be done abroad. So if you want to go back to Lithuania for your work placement, that's of course a possibility. But we also provide possibilities to pretty much every other country across the globe. We have a connecting world field worldwide. Most of our teachers come from the industry, so they know pretty much everything that you should know to be successful in your work field once you graduate. And we have a very interactive teaching style. We try to combine both practical and theoretical work to inform you the best as possible. And of course, while we're here, there's an opportunity to do a master program. So as you can see on the picture, there's a very small blip in the middle of the screen. There's the Netherlands. We're not even worthy of our own little dot, but we are there. And NHTV itself has won numerous prizes throughout the past years. Almost all our programs are ranked number 1 within our category. And we have been in the top 5 of best universities in the Netherlands for the past 10 years and still going strong. So at NHTV, we provide 5 different master programs. We have tourism destination management, about which Roman will talk to you in a minute. We have the master in engineering, the academic master in leisure studies, and the game technology master, about which Dave will talk about in a minute, and media innovation. So now I'll turn the screen towards Roman. Yeah, we'll change place, and he will talk to you about the master in tourism destination management.
Okay, thank you very much, Bram, and good evening to everyone from my side. My name is Roman, and I'm a student of the Master in Tourism Destination Management. And on the side, I'm also involved in some organizational matters of the program. And I want to inform you today about some general information. What is the program about its structure, what makes this master, at least in my opinion, a unique tourism master program, and maybe share some of my personal experiences with it, yes. So it is the Master in Tourism Destination Management is a 1-year master program, a professional master. And we basically teach how to manage the supply and the demand at different international tourism destinations. What it maybe makes it different from other tourism masters is that we don't look at the tourism industry itself, but rather at the development of places through tourism. So, for example, it's rather, I would say, rather a governance course than a management course in a business sense. So we don't look at tour operators or airlines and how they make money, but we look at how all players in the tourism industry come together and then impact and influence destinations which are growing significantly nowadays in the world. since the tourism industry is growing, or one of the fastest growing industries. It's a very interdisciplinary program. So as I said, we're not only focusing on tourism industry, but it involves also considerations of history, culture, and politics, and how these form kind of a local context at the destination, and how tourism goes together with that. And maybe one very nice fact is that since this year, we are also a government-funded program, which means that for EU students that the tuition fee is only 2,006 euros. And just last year, it was still more than 9,000 euros. So that's what Bram also talked about. There is a significant value for money in comparison to, at least for our program, what it used to be. The job opportunities after completing this program are very diverse and very versatile. So we have past graduates who work in management positions in the private sector in all related industries. So, for example, for online booking platforms, travel agencies, tour operators, but also in the hospitality and hotel industry. There's also many people who seek jobs in the public sector for example, consultancies, for city marketing organizations. Also, research is a big part of the program. So past students also found jobs in research institutes, since the tourism industry and all the market demands is constantly changing. Research is a big part of both tourism in general and of what we teach in our program. And also working at NGOs and international development organizations such as World Bank that do a lot of development projects, especially in developing, also so-called developing countries, is definitely an option with the content that we would teach in this master course. So the most important thing probably to know about the Master in Tourism Destination Management is that it is structured in 3 phases. So phase 1, as you can see, is in Breda in the Netherlands, and it only for 5 months you will actually be here and study at NHTV University, because then in phase 2 you will leave to 3 different tourism destinations in the Asia Pacific regions. And afterwards, phase 3 is all about writing your own individual thesis, and it can happen anywhere in the world. But I will now go into a little bit more detail into each of these phases. So as I said, phase 1 is kind of the theoretical phase. You will be here from September to February at NHTV in the Netherlands, and you will be studying in a university setting. You will be given lectures, you have workshops. There's a lot of group work involved, and you will also do 2 field trips to Amsterdam and to Rotterdam to visit several hotels and meet several organizations and tourism stakeholders at these destinations. And maybe one interesting fact is also that there is not a lot of exams involved in it. So actually this year there was no exam at all. The year before we had 1 exam. That might always change, but mainly the assessment of this theoretical phase and how you are graded, it's based on report writing and presentations, both individually and in groups. So there's an overview of the modules that we teach in this first theoretical phase at NHTV. I will just quickly go through the courses and tell something about it. So the first module is contemporary marketing, context and trends. Sounds a little bit weird, but it's all about marketing and branding in a tourism context, place branding, city branding. But it's also about the word context, which is kind of the magic word of our program, which mainly refers to the historical context, political context, and cultural context at different tourism destinations around the world. And you will learn that these contexts always differ, and there is no kind of policy framework that you can put on any destination, because each decisions have to be taken individually, taking all these context into consideration. And it also connects these kind of characteristics of tourism destinations with current market trends and also demographic changes and technological developments. And there is going to be a match, or you learn how to analyze, how to match these 2 things. The second one is destination stakeholder management, where you will be taught mainly the most important tourism stakeholder theories. And you also work in a group project where you will create a tourism vision for a destination that you will get assigned. The third one is destination development, finance and organization, which is all about the economic impact of tourism. So you will learn different measures, how to actually analyze what it means for a place or a city when more visitors come there, and how much money they spend, and what's actually the economic impact of that growth or visitor growth. The second part of this module is finance and basically, how tourism projects are financed and who owns them and who initiates them. You will not go too in-depth into finance, but you will learn a little bit how to analyze balance sheets and to look a little bit at the cost calculations of tourism projects and for example, museums. And the third part of this module is all about project management. So theories of project management and how internationally multilateral funded projects are organized, basically. Then there's context-related research. That is a research course which goes throughout the whole semester. And you will be learning all about research, starting from methods like participant observation. Then you learn about quantitative research, how to do a survey, how to do qualitative interviews, how to analyze them. And then you will conduct one whole research report as a kind of practice of how also your thesis could look like in the end. And the last one is called Team Performance and Creative Leadership. That is kind of a support course where you will work in, with some coaches basically, and you will learn about group dynamics and intercultural competencies, and especially how to share feedback, for example, in an intercultural environment. Then you will move to so-called phase 2, where you will be required to travel to 3 distinct types of tourism destinations in the Asia-Pacific region. And distinct types of tourism destinations means that you will first visit a city destination, which is mostly in Australia. Then you will visit developed or so-called developing tourism destination with a rural characteristic. And the third one is then a developed tourism destination, which has a long history of tourism development. So here are some pictures. I don't know if you can see them. In my year, we went to Melbourne as the first city destination, just to start off in an English-speaking country, in order to talk to people, to make interviews with stakeholders. And it's a little bit easier to be in a city environment when in the country they speak English. Then we moved to Sri Lanka as a part of the, or as an example of the developing destination, where we conducted research at the southern coastal area and looked at the hotel developments over there and how this place developed, which was very interesting. Then actually we moved a week to Singapore, where we did some reflection on what we did in the 2 months before. And also we had some time off for relaxation before we moved to Bali, which was the example of the mature or developed destination, since Bali has tourism development since the 70s, and there's a lot of hotel supplies and many big players are operating there. So this is the thing: city destination, developing destination, and developed destination. And over there you will be conducting research on current market trends and on current developments that are influencing the area in teams and in a specific research area. So it's actually a very nice part of this program, and I will get a little bit more into it later, which also makes it a little bit unique, because you get to experience these places firsthand. And then what's missing is phase 3. That's the individual thesis phase. So you are required to write a master dissertation, which then finishes the program basically. And this you can do anywhere in the world. So you're free to go back home. You can go back to Breda, to the Netherlands, or you can stay in Asia and visit any tourism destination there and conduct research over there. You would have to submit a proposal. You get a NHTV lecturer as a supervisor, but you can really choose a topic that interests you personally. So any country that you would like to research, or any area, or it's very diverse, the topics that have been chosen in the past, as tourism involves so much topics. As I said, it's very interdisciplinary. So that is really up to you. And also you can combine it with an internship in terms of a commissioned thesis research, or you can just do it independently on your own, as I said, anywhere in the world. So I think what makes this program unique is especially the very international classroom. So a main element of this program is the diversity of its students. In my year, I think we were 20 students from 12 different countries, the current batch of students that just left to Melbourne as well, actually, they are 31 students from 15 different countries. So it's very, very important, especially in the field of tourism, that you learn how to work together in project teams with people from, with other mindsets and from other cultures. So that's really one big element and a learning experience in that program. But the students are not only diverse in the cultural background, but also in age differences. So this year, our youngest student, I think she's 21, and the oldest is 42. So that's also a very broad range of age of people working together. And also the educational backgrounds are different. So myself, for example, I didn't do a bachelor in tourism. I studied international business, and only about half of the students will have a background already in tourism. But we try to get people from different fields with different perspectives together, and everybody brings something to the table, especially in this course, as it's not only about the tourism industry, but also about history, politics, diplomacy, and economics. A very interdisciplinary approach, as I already said, and very practical, especially as you get to meet so many stakeholders at the destinations yourself. Like I said, we went to these 3 places that I presented you. That might change, but mostly it's a city in Australia. It's a developing destination such as Sri Lanka, or in the past, also the program went to Myanmar. And then mostly you visit Bali as this mature destination. And there you get to know all these different players that are operating there. And you can network there. You can, just get an impression of what they are doing. And so this makes it really practical, I think. And here are some pictures of my year. The left one, we were in Melbourne after our final presentation there. And the right one was actually the end of this phase in Bali, where we gave a presentation. And for me, I can say I really was already working with people from many different countries together. I did exchange semesters, but this was really interculturally the most in-depth experience that I ever had. Working together in one project team with a guy from China and a girl from India, and then try to use our strengths together in order to make a group performance. So that's really something valuable aside from the content for yourself to personally develop. And also myself, I chose this program because of this interdisciplinary approach. I was always interested. I have a business background, but I was always interested in diplomacy and politics, in history, and in places itself. So I really found myself when I read about this program that this is really what I want to do, and not any other master in tourism, because it's really about the destination and the individuality of destinations around the world, and that each places, if it be a region, a country, or very small areas within countries, they are unique and different. And what we teach is to give you the tools how to analyze these differences, and based on these analysis, make decision or consult decision makers on what to do. So if there's any questions afterwards, of course, I think we have time for that. Thank you for your attention, and then I give the word to Dave, who will present the Master in Game Technology. Thank you very much.
So hello guys, my name is Dave, as told before, and I'm currently doing the Masters in Game Technology. This is first government-funded professional master in game technology, and the tuition is, as with the previous master, only €2,000. In this master, you're going to work about one-on-one with one of the lecturers. And the lecturers for the Game Technology Master are from all over the world and all over the industry. So you have people that come from indie companies and also people that come from big companies such as Disney. You work pretty close with these teachers, as in my case, I'm currently meeting every week with one of these teachers. Aside from that, you will also be working with people that are currently working in the industry. So using the connections of the teachers of the school itself, you will come in contact with different people in the industry. So in my case, I'm currently talking to, I have contact with a rigger from Square Enix. I've been working with animators from companies such as Access Animation, which does a lot of animation for games such as Call of Duty. So there you get a lot of connections with the industry, which is good to get a job afterwards the master, and also to get better information during your masters. What this master's really set apart is that it's you can do a practical thing. So an example of this is, in my case, I'm building a tool that gives a better approach to rigging for a better animator experience. This tool is my end product, and so I do a research to create that product. So this allows to have some that you mostly work in a practical way with doing a research beside it to make it an actual research. So the master is structured in 4 blocks. The first block is introduction. During this introduction phase, you're looking into a field that you've chosen before you started the master itself. So in my case, I chose rigging, but you can choose anything you would like. So you could do design, do something in programming, or in my case, I chose a direction in art. And I chose a specialization within that. During your introduction phase, you're going to look through your that field and see where you can improve something or what thing you like to research, and see how to do that. During your block B and block C, which is about 20 weeks, is that you're gonna actually do the research you planned doing during the first block, and during your block D, you're gonna finish the product and bring it out to the industry. So for block A, as I said, you're doing field research. You're researching the field you have chosen for your specific project. And for this, after you chose your field and decided, well, this is what I'm going to research, you have to create a plan, which you're going to do during your block B and block C. In this plan, you discuss the risks, what you're actually going to build, and how you're going to do it, and how much time the tasks take, and your planning. This plan would then be discussed with your supervisor, and you will adapt your plan during this block to make it a thing that is doable during those 20 weeks. During this block, you will be graded on that plan and how feasible it is and how helpful your end product is going to be for the industry. So during block B and C, you're going to do your research. We do have classes during these blocks, but they're mostly things like how to do research and how to write actual papers, because most people that have done a study in game technology never had to, don't usually have a lot of understanding of how to do research and how to write papers. At the end of this block, you will be have to deliver a written article. This is to test how good your writing skills is. This article can be anything within your field, so it doesn't have to be directly about your master's. So in my case, I've done an article about my methodology to rigging, which is not, so it's something I use for my master's degree, but not something I'm actually researching. And it's just to see how good your writing skills is to, and see if it's up to par for a master standard. Aside from that, you will be doing a presentation in this block to present your progress during the block according to your own planning. You will not be graded on anything you didn't set you would deliver. And at the end of Block C, you will have another presentation where you present everything you have again and according to your plan as well again. So in Block D, you will have your product finished and you'll have to make your final paper and just publish it to the industry itself. And that's basically what this master does. Yeah. Yeah. So
the organization that is hosting this webinar at this point in time has all the admission requirements on their websites. So if you're from either Lithuania or from Poland, just click the corresponding link and you will see the requirements that are needed to get into one of the master's programs at NHTV.
Yeah, I'm just we'll add a few information about everybody who is interested in any of the programs from NHTV University of Applied Sciences. You can come to our website, so it's kastu.lt or kastu.pl, and there you will find all the information about this NHTV University of Applied Sciences and all information about its programs and all information about admission requirements. So everything will be written there, and if you will have any questions, you can just call or email Kastu consultants and you will get all the information. Yes, so we can go on with the presentation now. Yeah.
Okay. Some final information about NHTV itself. Right now, we are still spread out across 4 different locations throughout Breda. However, we are changing this at this point in time, actually. So we are working to create a big campus. You can compare it to the universities you see in American movies. So we have one big location with a lot of green, a lot of facilities for all the students, and all courses will be brought into this big location so that there are possibilities to combine assignments from different courses, and we can pretty much combine all the strengths across NHTV for everybody's purpose. We started building last year, and the plan is to have it fully realized in 2020. So you will see, if you come to NHTV in the meantime, you will see a nice, gradually changing environment around you. So some important matters, since you are all international, of course. When you come to NHTV, there are some things you need to keep in mind, like housing, finances, jobs, and scholarships. We have a lot of people working here at NHTV and the Dutch government as well, who are very willing to help you with finding everything that you need to get you going in our country. So for housing, we have a website called clickforrooms.nl. This website is based for Breda and Tilburg, which is a town close to Breda, and all student rooms available will be put on this website, dependent on your sign-up time, but also dependent if you're international and the amount of distance you're away from the Netherlands, you will get like priority over other students. Prices vary from between 300 euros a month to 500 euros a month, and depending on that price, you will get either a studio, so a individual room with your own kitchen and your own bathroom, or you will be living in a student house with an X amount of other students that go to either NHTV or another university here in town. Finances. So, of course, the masters cost around 2,000 euros a year. And next to that, you will have your study expenses, which vary between the 400 and 700 euros a year. Costs like these are like books, some study trips, stuff like that. And then you have your daily expenses like your rent, your utilities, food and drinks, and maybe some money to go out and have a beer, which will vary between 700 and 1,000 euros a month, dependent on how much you want to party, so to say. We also have study grants, so some students qualify for extra financial support. You can always contact through the NHTV website or the website mentioned below to get some more information if you want so. This is pretty much the end. If you have questions, we're obviously happy to help you out. You can go to our NHTV website, either Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the social media channels, and we'll be here to answer your questions as soon as possible. And otherwise, you can also just contact Kastu, and they will help you as much as possible to get your information to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, thanks, Bram. So, yeah, like you said, if anybody has any questions, you can contact Kastu, and we will help with all the questions do you have. And we have some questions already from students who were watching this webinar. So okay. The first question is, what about your career plans after studies? So I think this question is more related for those two students, Dave and Roman. So also maybe you can just turn off. I will just stop the presentation because it's finished now already. Yeah, so maybe your students can tell about their career plans now.
Who wants to start?
I can start.
Yeah,
and maybe we can switch.
Yeah, I'll just switch, and you can both sit on the screen.
So as I said in my presentation, the career opportunities are very diverse. So the master is called Master in Tourism Destination Management, but there is no job that's called Destination Manager necessarily. My personal plans, I said that students can work in the public sector or private sector. I would like to work more in the private sector, first of all, maybe at a large tour company or tour operator, such as TUI, for example, to see a little bit more the business side of tourism and to get more into that, because it's just a big part. After all, tourism is a business. Long term, I always were interested in development of places. So I said there is a lot of projects in destinations where now many people travel to, which didn't happen some years back. For example, Myanmar, nobody went there 30 years ago, but now it's a really upcoming tourism destination. So there's a lot of need for projects that are being developed in certain areas. So that is something that I'm really interested in. But now, after I actually finished my thesis, which I'm still working on, I'm trying to get some experience first in the private sector, maybe at a big tour company, as I said.
Yeah, for me, I personally want to go to like a animation studio or any big game studio, because what I do like the most is researching how to improve the animation process for games. So for this, I would like to go to a bigger studio. Currently, it looks like I'm probably go to Access because I have the most contacts there, and yeah, that's my goal after my studies.
Okay, go on, please.
And in the later future, I probably want to get a lead functionality somewhere to do my own research and lead my own team. And that's
sounds great. And also we have another question about Erasmus programs at your university. So maybe you also have done any Erasmus exchange, or do you know if there are chances to do Erasmus while studying at NHTV?
I've done used a Erasmus grant. However, doing the Masters of Games, it doesn't. You don't go to an actual company. You're just doing a year of research at the school itself.
Yeah, for our program, as I said, it's. I think most master programs are 1 year programs, if I'm not mistaken. So that is quite a compact curriculum, and it doesn't leave so much room to do an Erasmus exchange semester within a 1 year program. And for the tourism destination management master, as I said, it's only taking place 5 months in Breda actually. So you will be abroad anyways, which is part of the program. So this is kind of not an exchange, but it's a study abroad kind of. So I think in the master programs, there are not so many Erasmus opportunities. However, all the bachelor students I know from NHTV, they all go abroad for Erasmus to several places, also outside Europe. And they all get like also another half a year of internship or work placement. So I think for the bachelor studies, that's very big. Correct me if I'm wrong. The master programs are all mostly 1 year programs, which is already quite compact and doesn't leave any room.
Yeah, okay, because your program is taking only 1 year, it's maybe too less time for go to an exchange.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, so our time is running out, and thank you very much for your presentation. I hope that it was interesting for all the students who have been watching it. And if you still will have any questions, you can always contact Kartu, and also we will help you to the answers. Or if you will want to contact with these students, we can also help you to do that. And just let us know, and we will give you their contact details. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you as well. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for your attention.
Goodbye, everyone.